Okay, wow, this is kind of random. We've had a lot of really interesting trades lately, so let's go over. We had Patrick Laine, and now we have Rutger McGroarty. Now, Rutger McGroarty was a player that I did figure was going to get traded. There were quite a bit of rumors of not rumors. There was straight up fact that he did not want to play in Winnipeg anymore, and I know a lot of Alberta teams are struggling with retaining talent, but whatever. They did pretty well here, but I am a person that personally does really like Rutger McGroarty. I think he's going to be a good player. He was drafted 14th overall by the Winnipeg Jets, and he got about 50 points back in last season in about 30 games, which is pretty impressive stats in the NCAA. Like, he has a promising future. He's got size. I don't believe he plays center. He plays wing. But still, this is a really, really good prospect right now. And the more I look into this trade, I wanted to let a little bit of time pass by here because you never know what's going to roll in. I saw the Elliot Friedman tweet, as a lot of other people I know that are watching this did, and I was like, okay, I'm going to wait a little bit, but it does look like it is a one-for-one trade, which honestly kind of makes sense, right? Two promising prospects. I kind of feel bad for a lot of the Alberta teams. They've had difficulty retaining talent, which is unfortunate, but what are you going to do? I'm telling you right now, though, when it comes to the Penguins, McGroarty is probably going to be a top 6 forward, I think, this year. That's how good I think he's going to be. Like, I don't think it's outrageous at all that he could produce 50 points this season. I don't think that's outrageous. He's got the size, he's got the skill, he's got the NCAA numbers. And why wouldn't he be able to do that? When you got Brayden Yager, you know, I'm not sure exactly what to make of this player because, you know, he has really good junior numbers, 6 foot. He was drafted in the first round, talented player. I do think McGroarty is probably the better player here. But honestly, the Jets really didn't do that bad. Like, if it's just one for one, which I believe that it is, I'll put some information up on the screen here. If it really just is one for one, I mean, this isn't bad at all. Now, I don't think the reason why Rutger McGroarty was because he didn't want to be in Winnipeg, though. If I look into it, I'll put some information up on the screen here. It looks like he just disagreed with the development plan of the Winnipeg Jets. I don't exactly know what that means. Like, did he want to at least play in the American Hockey League with an opportunity to get up to the NHL, which is reasonable, right? That is reasonable. Or did he want more time in the NCAA? But that doesn't make sense because he did play in the NCAA this last season. So I don't know the entire details of why McGroarty fell out of favor with the Jets, but honestly, that is Pittsburgh's gain, although they did have to give up Yager. See, I love trades like this because they just make sense in my opinion. You're getting a player that like one good young prospect for another good young prospect. It just makes sense. Like, I wish more trades happened that were this kind of ilk, where you essentially just had like a relative, again, there's obviously going to be like maybe one player just maybe Yager turns out to be like really good. Like, who the hell knows? They're prospects, right? And then maybe McGroarty doesn't. I don't think that'll happen, but whatever. But you get what I mean, where it's a one-for-one trade that just makes sense, at least on the surface right now. Here is the thing, though. We are seeing an epidemic of players. Like, I think McGroarty is actually going to be a pretty good player. Like, I'm not saying he's a Bedard-level player, obviously, or anything like that, which is obviously not true. Now, some of these players these days, the way they're acting is like they're Austin Matthews or McDavid right out of the gate. And it is a little ridiculous with the demands that McGroarty did have, in my opinion. Now, I know some people might disagree with that. Like, it even comes with my last video with Nick Robertson. Like, listen, you're a young, talented player, and we'll take a look at, how good you are, but I think when you're that young and you're not a superstar, again, to speak like this, you have to be a superstar prospect. You know what I mean? You have to be the cream of the crop, superstar prospect to have these kind of demands, in my opinion. And if you have these kind of demands, you got to put up or shut up. And do you think that Rutger McGroarty is this good? I don't know. And apparently there was one team that actually fell out of favor in a trade for McGroarty because of his demands, which is another interesting point, right? So I don't know. It sounds like this kid's demands are pretty demanding, quote unquote, and guys like that can really fall out of favor with teams. I'm not going to say he's going to go full on Pierre-Luc Dubois or anything like that, where he gets traded every other day and then blames everybody else but himself. But sometimes players like this are like, maybe you should just keep your head down and just be privileged to be in the National Hockey League. Like, buddy, you're not Connor Bedard. Like, you're just not Connor Bedard. It's not true. Even Connor Bedard was saying, oh, hey, my goal is to make the Chicago Blackhawks lineup, which is like, obviously you're going to make the Blackhawks lineup. But, you know, he's showing that he's humble. If even Connor Bedard can do that, I mean, you know, it's Rutger McGroarty. Anyways, I'm going to leave this video there. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you think I'm wrong or right. This is an interesting trade. We had the Patrick Laine trade. Now we have this trade. This is honestly fantastic. I want to keep this stuff going. Always want news in the NHL. Subscribe, like, appreciate it. Have a good day, guys. Bye.